Real learning involves understanding, and for students to understand the information they are provided requires more than just interaction with other students. It requires teacher engagement. It requires tutors to moderate discussions and provide feedback on assessment. These are interactions that demand qualified staff and time for each student. There are not many areas where interactions and feedback of this kind can be automated, although there has been attempts to provide greater automation. The personalized path to learning is also subject to academic policies and professional accreditation requirements in many fields, all of which specify the types of academics, and in some cases the numbers of them, needed to ensure the student's understanding.
Since the dawn of time, humankind has delved into available resources to alter the environment, making it more livable and more comfortable day by day. Being able to use a spear-shaped rock to hunt, or using a cattle-driven chariot to transport goods were considered marvels, and greatly influenced the agricultural sector and ensured food security for man over time. It all started with the use of simple mechanical systems to assist farmers in transporting heavy loads, or in crushing cereal to make refined products and widen the variety of foods available for consumption. Over the years, we witnessed the development of railway tracks, making transport of agricultural goods faster, more efficient and cost-effective.
In Australia, fruits and vegetables are increasingly imported from overseas to fill gaps in local supply. At different times of the year, the local greengrocer could be stocking oranges from Egypt, kiwi fruit from Italy and garlic from China. Eating more fruits and vegetables is good for the environment, especially in terms of generally lower greenhouse gas emissions and water usage in comparison to meat production. However, there are other consequences. Imported foods are transported to the country by air, a mode of travel with a huge carbon footprint and thus ecological impact. So, in this sense, local produce is more sustainable than imported.
Thanks to social media, we live in an age that is simultaneously the best and worst environment for journalism that there has ever been. We have access to countless sources of news that spring up instantly after global phenomenon, political debate and sporting achievements. All it takes is a few swipes of a finger and you can have a general knowledge about any known topic in existence. We are better informed than ever, and yet we are also exposed to vindictive, biased journalism masquerading as truth. Journalism today is not typically based on objectivity, but rather is designed to catch and hold our attention and therefore sell its publication to us.
On an individual level, it is no secret that stress can make us more prone to both physical and psychological ailments such as headaches, neck pain, anxiety and depression. On a population level, the rising rates of stress-induced anxiety and depression among all ages is resulting in increased levels of suicide, with suicide becoming the leading cause of death for Australians from 15 to 44 years old. As such, the World Health Organization has dubbed stress the health epidemic of the 21st century. All of this underlies a widespread problem that will send tidal waves through the healthcare system for generations.
The use of satellites in communications is a great blessing. This breakthrough has given new meaning to the term telecommunication, The use of satellites has made video conferencing possible. Companies in one part of the world are in instant touch with their subsidiaries throughout the world. Communication via satellite has made the world smaller and brought the people closer together. Naturally, this has brought cultures together and appreciation of the beauty which lies within each culture. No doubt within the next century, the developments will be such as to create a world where there is greater closeness among people.
It stands to reason that when international aid is given, steps must be taken to ensure that the aid reaches the people for whom it is intended. The way to achieve this may not be simple. Often, it is the persons in authority who are corrupt. It is very difficult for a nation to give help directly to people in another nation. The United Nations organization or a similar international body could undertake the supervision of the distribution of aid. Here, however, rises the problem of costs. Also tied with this is time. When too much time is taken for the aid to reach the intended recipients, there may well be further disaster.
In a business world of constant change, managers must learn to adapt rapidly. In the past, business thinking was focused on addressing the organizational problems of an industrial era. However, the problems facing businesses nowadays are more complex. Leadership demands a deep understanding of the forces of change and the ability to navigate new territory. Managers must respond quickly as markets and organizations transform. Even when companies launch products and services in rapid succession, the next generation is ready to go. In this context, the risks of managers and executives being hesitant are significant. They must be able to think clearly, draw conclusions quickly, and act decisively.
The technology of flying has improved tremendously, and it is certainly safer to fly now than a decade ago. The safety aspects of flying is almost a sub-industry by itself. Crew training lays a lot of emphasis on safety. For a few jobs in the world is selection more careful than for pilots. The course they undergo is comprehensive, and it is much harder to become a pilot than a doctor. Maintenance crew too are highly trained professionals. Before a plane takes off, numerous thorough checks are carried out and everything is done to make sure that flying is safe. Even then, occasionally, a plane crashes or is hijacked.
The new Performing Arts Complex will boast a fully programmable acoustic system. A digital approach to sound, it provides the optimal acoustics for each musical genre, with speakers and microphones built seamlessly into the space, a process known as activated architecture, meaning the touch of a tablet screen will transform acoustic energy, enabling optimum sound quality whether it's a play, chamber concert or jazz ensemble. It is this element that has the director of the Academy of Performing Arts most excited. He believes that this will provide great opportunities for students doing either music or theater and performing arts courses.
The tendency of nations to think that they and their people are superior to other races had been a major cause of war through the ages. This tendency still persists today. In the age of exploration, the Western countries went about founding other countries, strongly urged on by their religions. The mass murders of savages was sanctioned because, after all, one's race was superior. Then came Hitler and his concept of the masked race. This single tendency of thinking that one's race is superior to others is another reason for pessimism about the future of the world. If earlier causes of war and mass murder still persist, how then can we be optimistic?
The most important aspect of technology that is useful in schools today is the computer. There is tremendous potential for using it to teach in schools. Computer-aided instruction is being used to good effect in management training and in education, however there is much scope for it. We all know that no two children learn at the same pace. Computers can be programmed to give immediate feedback and children can learn at their own pace. Most of the existing education styles do not make allowances for different speeds in learning. Either slow learners are neglected or fast learners are held back. Even small children should be introduced to computers. After all, the machines are going to play important parts in their lives later on.
The world over, there have been, and there still are, lots of charlatans claiming to predict the future. People are naive enough to fall victims to such people. All sorts of gimmicks have been used, including people who claim to be able to read our past lives and then tell us how to eradicate the bad luck in this life, with the knowledge gained. Believing in the ability of such people will only perpetrate crimes against the unwary. The danger is heightened because there is no law against individuals who make such claims. Many walk away with fortunes after making predictions which are vague and mysterious.
Animals are hunted and killed for sport. In nature, man is the only animal who kills for no reason at all. It makes little sense that hunts are organized where man goes into the animal's environment and then hunts them down with superior technology. One wonders what type of pleasure he derives from killing other creatures for no reason at all. Again, man delights in capturing animals and making them perform ridiculous tricks in circuses or locks them in zoos to exhibit them to curious people. As a result of killing them and capturing them, many animals are now extinct.
The seeds of criminal tendencies among young people are often planted while they are mere children. This has been proven true through analysis of the behavior of young and even older criminals. Criminals are sometimes created in childhood. Abused children who grow up with the violent behaviors of their parents often become violent in their later lives. A lot of crimes committed by young people are copied from what they see in the movies or on television. Observation of parental behavior, movies and television all take place at home. Seeing crimes glorified on television and violent behavior of parents make the young think that such is acceptable behavior.
The beginnings of superstition seem to have scientific basis. At least the adherents carried out observations and confirmed to themselves that they worked. Perhaps they exaggerated a little here and there. The elders seized upon it to be used to keep their people in line. In order to control people, leaders must have imposed some rules and then explained to their people that it was true. It takes only a few instances for the superstitions to become true, and that would have established them as unshakable truth. In time to come, no one would have questioned them. The fact that they exist even today is proof of their power over people.